Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Gear Solo. Now, just like anything else I review, I'm going to start off by talking about everything I don't like first, then we'll get into everything that I do like. Alright, so let's get right into this. First, the first thing about the Gear Solo that I don't like is they took away the camera. Alright, so no camera on the Gear Solo. Now, is that a big deal? No. Because if you use a Moto 360, use the LG watch, use the Sony watch, or any one of these new watches coming out, none of them have cameras. But if you like me and you had the original Gear and you had the Gear 2, both of these have cameras. So Samsung took a step backwards by removing the camera. Like I said, not a big deal, but I got used to taking little pictures here and there, and it was just a nice feature to have for emergencies. So I would have liked to have had a camera. Now I understand with the big 2.0-inch curved display, it would have been hard to stick a camera on there, like how they did with the Gear 2. It would have been impossible to stick a camera right there, but they could have did it like on the original Gear and stuck it in the band. Now this is kind of ugly looking, but it served the purpose. All right, next, no IR blaster. Now, is that a big deal? Not really, but for me, like I said, using the Gear 2, I got used to having the IR blaster, which means you can control your TV from your watch. So that was a little feature that I got used to. I like coming in the house and just immediately whipping out my watch and turning on the TV, turning the stations and all that. Whatever, not a big deal. Another feature I would have liked them to have left. Next, the battery. Okay, now Samsung claims that the Gear Solo will get you 2 days worth of battery use, and that's completely not true. All right, now even if you're not an online warrior like me, an internet beast on the phone and the watch all day long, you're not getting 2 hours of battery life out of this unless you barely use it and you got the screen on ultra dim and no vibrations. All right, now I tested this every single day, and I will tell you this, you will definitely get a full day's worth out of battery. Definitely. You're going to get 8 hours, 8 to 10 to 12 hours, no problem at all. But you're not getting 2 days. That's not happening. All right, so the battery could have been a little bit better on this. But, you know, like I said, I'm an online warrior, so I use the watch way more than the average person is going to use it. But the battery is just not 100%. All right, the battery ain't there. Next, lack of apps. All right, now there's not too many Gear Solo apps. And what I mean by that is standalone apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare. You know, all of these major apps that people use every day, they don't have a specific Gear Solo app. Now, you are able to access this using the web, but there's not a specific app. I would like to see Samsung come out with some Gear Solo specific apps. Now, if you go in the market, there is a few. There's a few. I would say even there's a lot, but there's not a lot of the good ones that we really want, like the Facebooks and Twitters and all that stuff. So there's a lack of apps right now in the Gear Solo. Now the watch only been out for a week or two, so we got to give them some time. But even with both these Gears, there wasn't too many apps either, so that's a problem. Next, no Google Now. All right, there's no Google Now integration on the Gear Solo. Now I understand that it's not running Android, it's running Tizen, so you know you don't expect to see Google Now. You know, that's an Android feature, but it would have been nice. You know, especially with the Moto 360 and the LG watch, you see how Google Now integrates and it works beautifully. Well, Samsung's still using S-Voice, and everybody knows S-Voice, you know, is no competition with Google Now and Siri. So, you know, S-Voice serves its purpose, but it's not the best. I would have liked to have seen Google Now, even if that came at the price of not using Tizen and just had a TouchWiz, you know, OS, whatever. It might have been a little more laggy and buggy, but whatever. Don't get me wrong. I like the Tizen OS. It's very smooth, very clean, and very lag-free. All right, but no Google Now. Last but not least, the thing I don't like about this the most is the price. Now, keep in mind, you're going to have two prices for this, or maybe even more than two, depending on where you buy it from. Now, I bought two of these, one from Sprint and one from Verizon. After taxes, the Verizon one was about $380, and the Sprint one was about $420. Now, that's kind of steep. That's a little bit steep on the price, but you got to remember that this is not an accessory. This is the same as going out and buying a new phone, because this works as a standalone phone. So, of course, the price is going to be a little bit higher, but when I say I don't like the price, what I mean by that is the monthly service charge. All right, now, they should have made a way to integrate that into your normal plan that you have, instead of adding with Sprint an extra $10 a month and with Verizon an extra $5 a month. Now, With Verizon, it's a little bit different. It taps into your data plan that you already have. But with Sprint, you get a specific amount of minutes and text and data for extra $10 a month. But you also get another phone number. All right, so that's kind of a bonus, but the price is just a little bit on the steep side. All right, so that's the last thing I don't like is the price. Now, let's talk about everything that I do like. Number one, the build. The build on this watch is the best quality out of all of the gears so far. All right, now the original gear, this watch was just way too stiff. You see this watch? I had this watch for about almost 2 years. Look how stiff it is. It never even got broken into. You know, you didn't get a chance to break this watch in. The band was just too stiff, and I wasn't feeling this big hump on the side for the camera. Now, on the second gear, this band was way better with the texture feel to it. This one bends a little bit. It's a little bit more smooth. They integrated the camera and the IR blaster really nice on the top. But it was just a little bit on the stiff side. Now with the Gear Solo, even though the screen is giant, it's bigger than both of these, it just feels better. Look how loose the band is. So when you put this on, it actually contours to the shape of your wrist. The metal clasp on this, it works beautiful, stays into place. You're never gonna have a problem once you get this to the exact hole that you want. You're not gonna have to keep adjusting this. You're not gonna have to worry about this popping open when you run in or working out in the gym. The build quality on this is beautiful. And my best feature in this build quality, other than the display, is the band. The band is just nice and soft, and it just feels better than anything that Samsung put out yet. Now keep in mind, you can change the bands. I've already seen a whole bunch of bands online, and we're going to get into those in a minute. They got the diesel ones. I've seen some Guess ones. I even seen an Ed Hardy band, like limited edition. Like, they got a whole bunch of custom stuff coming out. They got metal bands. We're going to get crazy. All right, so the build on this is a go. Next, the display. Now, the display on this watch is what makes this my favorite gadget right now, my favorite James Bond tech piece of tech gadget right here. The display on this is just beautiful. All right, and that curved display is not only for show. The curved display actually works. All right, so when you let me show you something. When you go to, say you go to your news. All right, let's click on a story. When you're reading the story, you see how it actually curves. So now keep in mind, this is going to be on your wrist. So when it's on your wrist, I'm just holding it like this for the video. But when it's on your wrist and you contour your wrist when you're driving or when you're doing whatever you're doing, you're looking at your watch, the curved display helps when reading all this text. It just seems like it reads better. You know, it just curves and it just looks better. It's just easy on the eyes, if y'all get what I'm saying. It just looks hot. All right, so the display on this is beautiful. Plus the Super AMOLED display, you already see how the blacks look. Look at the background. You can't see where the bezels start or stop. The black background looks beautiful on this. You know, the display is just winning. The display is crazy. 2 inches, that's a big giant display compared to something like this. You see the difference in the display. Now, it might not look too noticeable, even though you have to be blind to say that this is not bigger. But when you're really going to notice this is when you're getting notifications. All right, when you're driving and you got your hand like this on the wheel and you get an email, this screen is so big that you can read the whole email without having to scroll. Now, that's a huge bonus. All right, that's a huge, huge plus. When you had this watch right here, when you get a notification, you had to be scrolling down. You know, you can never see a whole email, you know, just by looking at it on the Gear 2. Now, with the Gear Solo, you get an email, you can read that whole email. Maybe you have to do one swipe to get to the second part of the email. Crazy though, the display is winning. Next, the notifications. Now, this is something I'm really feeling about this. This is, you know, just to backtrack on what I was saying, the notifications on this are just bigger and brighter, and it looks better. So now when I get an Instagram notification, it highlights in yellow. When I get a Gmail, it highlights in red. When I get a Google message, highlights in blue. It has different color notifications. They look more vibrant, more beautiful, and not to mention that big notification. So now if somebody comments on one of your Instagram pictures and you get the alert, you'll be able to read the whole comment and see who it's coming from, all the smiley faces and whatever they put on it. You see that all at once. All right, let me see. Let's pull up an Instagram and see if we have anything. Let's see. Let's see who else. Let's see if we got any comments. All right, see, like an Instagram right here. You can read the whole thing. Now, on the Gear 2, you might just see the Instagram picture and the header, and you might get the first line. That's it. So the notifications on this is way better. It's brighter, and it looks better. It just looks better. Take my word for it. Next, the sound. Now, the sound on this watch is just as loud as the other two. All right, just as loud, but now you get more notification sounds. All right, so let me show you what that means. Let's go to settings real quick. Now, keep in mind, I'm just reviewing this for people who already had the Gear 1 and the Gear 2. If you never had a Gear, then you ain't gonna really understand what I'm saying, or you won't really care. But if you had these two gears, you remember that there was only two notification sounds. Now, when you go to notifications, you got all these different sounds. Is that a big deal? Yes, especially for people like me, who I have a Gear Solo and my girl has one also. So when we're sitting in the room and you hear that sound go off, now I have different sounds than her, and we kind of synchronize our watches so we have different sounds. So every time I hear a sound, I don't have to keep checking my watch to see if it's me or her. We know the difference between each one. Before, it was like, if you go to a room or wherever you at and somebody else has a gear on and they get an alert, everybody's getting the same alert. All right, so now you got more choices, and this is with the notifications and the ringtones. So now you got way more ringtones, way more notification sounds. All right, so that's a win right there. Next, now this is important right here, the keyboard. Let me pull up the keyboard. The keyboard on this is sick. All right, let me show you. Let me pull up something I can respond to. Let's pull up a keyboard. All right, this is what the keyboard looks like. Look how big this keyboard is. Now, even if you had the Gear 1 and 2, you could go to the App Store and you could download like Flossy keyboard and all that. That keyboard was whack. And that's why I really never used it. The keyboard was so small, it was almost impossible to try to hit the exact button. Now with this keyboard, you actually can type in stuff. Like I can type in hi. You can hit space. Now keep in mind, I'm doing this like this. If I had it on my wrist, it would be a lot easier. You can also use swipe. What are, or what else is, and it'll finish the words. And if you want to say, I want to put are. Let's go back. Swipe. It works. Now, like I said, it's going to take you a few minutes to get used to playing with it. But once you get the hang of this, you're going to love this. All right, this keyboard is so hot, and it actually works. That's the difference between this and the Flossy keyboard. That was more just for show, just for you could show people your watch and say, look, check this out. I have a keyboard on my watch. I could actually type on it, but it might take me 5 minutes to type. What time are you going to be home? It might take 5 minutes. With this keyboard, no, it's not going to take 5 minutes. You could type it out. You could swipe keyboard, type it really fast. All right, so the keyboard on this is a win, and this is one of the hottest features on this phone is the keyboard. All right, this is crazy. Now, let's see what else we got here. Next, GPS. Now, the GPS on this is sick. All right, let me show you what that one is. Let's pull up the GPS. Now, keep in mind, this is all standalone features. All right, we go to Navigator. Now, I'm not going to click it because I don't want my address and everything to pop up. But you click on Navigator, it's going to locate exactly where you are. Now, I did a test run with this the other night. All right, I was going to this taco place. Shout out to everybody that followed me on Foursquare. That put up that picture of the taco place I never been to. Well, I never been there. So I'm driving in the car with my girl, so she had the GPS on her phone. I said, you know what, let me try the GPS on my watch, and we'll see if they coincide and both get us to the same place at the same time. The GPS on my watch went turn by turn, and you can also set this for walking. So it doesn't only have to be in the car, you can set it for walking. So if you're walking around the city and you kind of get lost, it's going to give you walking directions. GPS worked 100%. It told me exactly how many minutes it should take me to walk there. And driving, it went faster driving, but I got there with no problem. It worked perfectly. All right, so the GPS on this watch is a win. Next, we got Samsung Milk. Now, this is another tough little app right here. Let's go to Milk. Let me grab my phone, too, and show y'all what this looks like. All right, so we open up Samsung Milk. Now, Milk is like a streaming media player. All right, now I can play songs, and it'll play directly from my phone. All right, now let's pause this. Now, you get the album art, and you get full control of the music that's on your phone from your watch. You can play it from your watch, the best part about this, plug your headphones in. Now, when you got your headphones in, you can control your music from your watch, and you get this beautiful album art. Also, you can connect this to a Bluetooth speaker, and that's why I've been using Milk the most. Connect it to your Bluetooth speaker. Now you can have your music playing, and you can be switching songs right from the watch. All right, let's pause this. You can switch songs right from the watch and play it out of your Bluetooth speaker. This is hot. All right, this is a hot little feature. So all y'all cats, if you never tried Samsung Milk, download that and play with it for yourself. Next, now this is crazy, right? This is crazy, web browsing. Let me show you what that is. Now, remember when you had these two watches, you could root them and you could have your little internet going, you know, from your phone. You're tethering it to your phone and using the internet. But remember, it was mad slow and cheesy, and it was just whack. It was just unusable. Now you have Opera Mini, a full web browser on your watch, and you get to full websites. So let me take it to Gmail. Let me just make sure my login information don't pop up. Let's take it to Gmail. Right? Let's let it load up. All right. Now this is the full Gmail site. So now I could click on the email and read a full email. Okay, shout out to Stephen Kane. Just subscribe to the channel. Full email. Let me show you something else that's hot. Now, when you go to the bottom of this, you can open up multiple pages. You could go to full websites, Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, Google+, the full website, any website that you could think of. It's going to go to the mobile version, and you can have that on your phone. And fellas, I don't need to tell y'all which websites to go check out, but you already know. You're going to have a lot of fun with this, all right? Full internet browser. That is crazy, without tethering to the phone, because this is not an accessory. This is an actual phone unit, standalone by itself with data. So even if you don't got your phone on, you can still use this. That is a win right there. Next, which brings me to my next point, separate phone number. Now you get a separate phone number with this. All right, so that means that this is a separate phone. So if you got these two like this, you got your Note and your Gear Solo, now you're walking around with two phones. And let me give you a quick story on how this played out and how this actually really works in real life. Now I'm gonna try to make the story real quick. I went grocery shopping with my girl. I came home, you know, we start bringing all the groceries in the house. I noticed my little neighborhood cat that's outside. I forgot to feed him. So I had already put my phones, everything down on the table. I grabbed a can of cat food and I went outside. So now I'm you know, making a little cat go, you know, come here, little cat. Here come the cat running down the block. At the same time, my homeboy drove up in his car. He just happened to be driving past, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" He jumped out the car. We get to talking. So now we talking, blah blah blah. I'm noticing now that he had a couple of drinks, and you know when somebody's drunk, they're gonna start talking you to death, which I don't mind. I'm not doing that, so I'm just gonna talk him down. So we standing there talking. I realized I left my phone in the house. So I'm not going to be rude and like, oh, yo, pause in the middle of your sentence. Let me go get my phone. I pulled out my gear, and I went just like this. Swipe down, hit the call forwarding, forward all my calls directly to my gear. Now, keep in mind, I'm no Bluetooth connection. I'm all the way outside in the front. My phone is all the way in the house. So no Bluetooth connection. So now we standing there talking. We having fun. We chilling out. I get a phone call. It's my nephew. Now, he's fooling around, doing some work on his car. His car won't start. He want me to come and give him a jump start. Bottom line to this story is this. If I didn't have the Gear Solo on me, I would have missed that call. Who knows, maybe he would have had to call a tow truck or, you know, try to call somebody else or wait or just be stuck out in the cold. Who knows? But the point is, I was able to get that phone call without having my phone on me. And that's going to play out in so many situations in my day-to-day life and in your life. You're going to really enjoy this. Say you go to the gym now and your battery's on low. Now you don't have to kill your battery. You could turn your phone off, put it in your gym bag, and go work out with another phone on deck. So you're not going to miss no phone calls, no text messages, no emails, and you can respond to all your emails from your watch with the keyboard. You can make phone calls, receive phone calls, send text messages, receive text messages. Look at this list of all of these alerts I've been getting. Gmail, Instagram, my Google inbox, Google search. Now I'm getting Google search alerts. So sports scores and flights that I'm tracking and all of that. Regular emails, Flipboard notifications, text messages, my S Health. S Health is nice. I don't use it too much, but it's fun. Every now and then they'll tell you if you've been standing around for too long or sitting around for too long, it'll tell you that you're supposed to take 10,000 steps a day. You only took 400. Take some steps. All right, so S Health is a fun little app. I don't use it too much. Twitter, I get a couple alerts. Swarm, missed calls, beautiful widgets, weather alerts. All of these notifications, and some, let's see, some I didn't even show y'all. I got my YouTube Creator Studio. You're going to get all of your notifications. All right, so the standalone feature is a win, and you get a separate number. Now, let me explain something to you. A lot of people have been asking me, can you use this watch without having the data plan? And the answer is yes. You could use it just like these two watches if you want. When you buy it, though, you got to buy it with the data plan, especially if you finance it. If you finance it, they're going to make you keep that data plan. So just buy the watch outright. If you buy it outright for $400, $380, whatever price you pay, as soon as you get home, you could call up Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, call up whoever you got, and just say, look, I don't want to pay the monthly charge. I don't need another number. I just want to use it as a Bluetooth connected watch. It's going to work the same. You're going to get all your notifications. You're going to get everything. It's going to be tethered to your phone. Now, is that beneficial? It depends on you. For me, I don't mind paying the extra $10 to have another phone number and another separate phone on deck at all times. If I go to a party, go to a bar or something to get drunk, lose my phone, I'm always going to have that ride home because I got a phone right here. I'm not going to have to ask nobody for a ride home. I could just hit the call forward and I'm still going to get my work calls. Everything is still going to be a go. All right, so that standalone feature is major, and that's what separates the Gear Solo from everything else on the planet right now. All of these other watches, this is a standalone watch. Now, I don't mean every single watch on the planet. There's some of these, I seen this Korean watch the other day. It's like an Android watch and whatever. I'm talking about big name stuff, all right? Big boy toys. All right, so this is what separates this from LG and the Moto 360 and the Sony and the Pine and all these other watches. No. Standalone feature is a win. $10 a month, a little on the steep side, but you get like 1,000 minutes. You get like 1,000 text messages. And most of the time during the day, I have it tethered to my phone, so I don't really need that. But when I go to the gym, I plug in my Bluetooth, my portable battery charger, plug in my portable battery charger, turn this phone off, and put it in my bag. So now for the whole hour and a half that I'm working out, I'm going to get a full charge on my cell phone, and I'm just going to use my watch. And when I come out, the phone fully charged up and the watch. Now, like I said, the battery on this, not the best in the world. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's check the battery on this one right now. All right, 50%. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's 1:30. I took this off at 9 o'clock this morning. All right, maybe about 8:30. I took it off the charger about 8:30. Now, which brings me to another thing I want to show y'all real quick. Talk amongst yourself. I just got to grab something. The charger. I almost forgot to mention this. This is another thing that is so hot about this watch, the charger. So this is what the charger looks like. Now, when you want to charge the watch, all you have to do, line up the pins and plug it in. That's it. Now, you're going to notice something. You notice it started charging? This is hot. All right? This is not only charges your watch, but it's also a standalone battery charger. All right, so now when I'm in the house, I have this plugged in and I'm charging up my watch. When I'm ready to go, I unplug this, put this in my pocket, use my watch all day long. Like right now it's on 50%. If I had to go out and spend the night and I know I'm going to be out in the street all night, I could just plug this in right now. Let me grab the charger. I could just plug this in and start charging my watch with no cables. See the light? Charging right now with no cables. Fellas, that is sick. All right, now that looks kind of like all of the other Samsung chargers, but this one actually charges your phone when it's not plugged in. So this is a battery charger and the charger in one. Crazy. Next, Wi-Fi. This watch also works on Wi-Fi. Let me show you something else. Let me just pull up the settings. Let's go to settings. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even connect it. I haven't even set that up yet. But you could use this watch on your Wi-Fi network in the house. So now if you are paying that data plan, $5 a month, $10 a month, whatever data plan you got, you could connect this Wi-Fi, turn off your phone. You could turn your phone off in the house and just walk around with this. on your Wi-Fi network and use it for your internet and your phone calls, text messages, everything using Wi-Fi. All right, so that's kind of crazy right there. And last but not least, the floss factor. Now, if you don't know what the floss factor is, that means when you at your bar, restaurant, club, work, school, gym, wherever you at, and you got your Gear Solo on, and somebody walks up and they got their Gear 2, somebody walks up and they got the Gear 1, somebody walks up and they got the LG, the Motorola, whatever watch they got, are you sitting on top of the food chain? Are you looking like a boss? Or do you have to go like this? When you see them, do you have to take your shirt and pull it over your wrist and just hide it? Which one is it? Well, after using this watch for a full week, and I done been a lot of places this week, I'm going to tell you I like this. The floss factor on this watch is through the roof. All right? This is the most James Bond, badass, Dick Tracy, Captain Kirk, Inspector Gadget, whatever, science fictional character that you want to be when you was growing up, with a hardcore spy agent or whatever. This is it. All right? This watch is so badass. Anytime somebody sees this watch and they haven't seen it in real life, it's like oohs and ahs. Everybody want to know what it could do. And, I got to start flipping through and showing them stuff. I got to make a quick phone call. I got to send them a quick text message. The only thing missing is the camera. The camera would have made this the ultimate James Bond status. But even without the camera, this watch is just completely boss. The floss factor is through the roof. All right. Now, like I said, this is other than my Google Glass, there's nothing else that I'm walking around with today and wearing that's giving me more of that satisfaction of feeling like a high-tech type of dude. And, some people might call that nerdy and all that, but me, I'm a tech dude. So I like all this high-tech stuff. I like the Harman Kardon, the LG Tone headphones that look space age. I like all that stuff. I like walking around with the Google Glass on, looking like a cyborg. That stuff don't bother me at all. I like that kind of shit. And this watch right here, you're going to get maximum floss factor. Now, the only thing I'm walking around right now, and this has only been a couple of days, the only thing I'm walking around right now that's giving me more floss factor, I can really say, is this Note Edge. All right, the Note Edge, I whipped it out a couple of times on a few folks, and this is just insane. All right, I'm going to do a full review on this week, but trust me, the Note Edge, this is crazy. Only thing missing on this Edge is a selection of cases. But that curved display, I whipped this out today in Verizon. I had to go exchange something in Verizon today. I whipped this one out. They didn't even see it in there yet. And everybody was like, oh, let me touch the side. Oh, this is crazy. I was looking like a boss. And I had the Solo on too. Come on, fellas. I'm telling you. Now, if you want to be that dude, get yourself the Solo. And if you're worrying about paying a extra monthly charge and all that, don't sweat it. Because like I said, you don't have to do that. You could cancel that at any time you want and just use it as a standalone watch. All right, so the floss factor on this is through the roof. Now, I do have some apps. I will show y'all. I'll make that a separate video. I don't want to make this video way too long, but y'all know how I do. I want to show y'all a quick app that I used today too that was kind of sick. All right, now, everybody all y'all cats who got this watch, get this app. And like I said, I'll do another video. Which app is that? Okay, check this out. This app is called Look Behind. All right, all y'all cats that got a Gear Solo, this app, it might be about $2. I'm not sure how much I paid for this one, but you need this. All right, you need this app. It's called Look Behind, and it's self-explanatory. You can look behind you. Now, what it does is it activates your phone camera and flash from your watch. All right, so let me show you what I mean. Now, you see, I'm gonna put my gear right here. I'm going to face the camera on my phone toward the gear. Now I'm going to activate Look Behind. Look at that. This is the camera on my phone. Now, no matter where I move my watch, as long as the phone camera is right there, you're going to get the image. And look, you see that little flash icon? I can activate the flash. See, activate the flash on the phone. See? This is so sick. All right, now, trust me, fellas, get that app. If you never played with it before, you're going to want to try that one. It's worth every penny. There's so many ways. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all what to do, but there's so many ways you could set your phone somewhere in your room or in your office. Set your phone up like this. Just like this. You know, you got that nosy coworker that you think is going through your stuff every time you go to the bathroom. You want to know what people's doing, you know, with your stuff when you leave it somewhere. Leave your phone just like this and go to your watch, go to your settings, and just activate look behind. It's going to turn on your camera. Now, even if it's in a dark place, you activate the flash, it'll turn the flash on. This is crazy. All right. Now, I'll do a separate video down the line after I get about maybe 8 to 10 more quality apps. Then I'll do an app video. But this is one that I highly recommend. Also, remote recorder. That's another good one. This is cool too. Now, this is perfect for, say you get pulled over by the cops and you want to record the conversation. You hit record. It's going to record your conversation directly to your phone. All right, not to your watch. So even if they see it recorded on your wrist and they say, oh, take that watch off, and they take it off and smash it, they don't know that it's going directly to your phone. All right, and you can also set it to email it to somewhere else. All right, so this is a hot little app right there. So that's 2 apps that I want y'all to check out. Let me see what else I got. I got a Compass app. I got Yelp. You definitely need to download Opera Mini. That's basically it. Let's see. Your image gallery. You can send images from your phone. So this is how I got my screensaver. Send it from the phone. This is a screenshot of my phone. So you could do that. Send pictures from your phone directly to your watch. Have it as a gallery. S-Voice, not the best in the world, but you know, basic stuff. It works. The Nike app, never really played with it yet. S-Health, never really. I just use it for the steps. Every now and then I check and see how many steps I did. And that's basically it. You go to your recent use apps. Just like Android, you could, you know, scroll down, close all. I also have one of my favorite features set up that when I double tap on the home button, it's going to bring up the Find My Device. So now that comes into play. You know, I stay dropping my phone behind the bed, or I leave it in one of my coat pockets or somewhere. I just can't find it. I got too many phones. So what I do is, as soon as I'm about to leave, I just activate this, press the button, and then it'll locate my phone. Real simple. I also have it set up. If I tap the home button 3 times, it's going to send out an emergency message to the person that I want to receive that emergency message, letting them know that I'm in trouble, or letting them know, you know, whatever. I got it set up for emergency message. All right. So that's a good little feature right there to play with for yourself too. Now, if y'all wondering, for your cats that want to know why do I have 3 watches, I'm not just, you know, trying to be a dick. It's because I do have 3 Samsung phones on right now. So that's the only reason I keep 3 watches. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, is it worth getting, if you already have the Gear 2, is it worth getting the Solo? And the answer is hell yes. All right, definitely. Definitely. This is 100% upgrade. Now, I will keep this one because I do want the camera. I do want the camera and the IR blaster. So I will keep at least one of these Gear number 2s. But I'm probably going to get rid of this one and upgrade to another Solo or maybe something else. Who knows? But I definitely want to keep this one for the camera. But if you got to make a choice between this or this, I would say hands down, get yourself the Gear Solo. It's so boss. Don't let the big screen intimidate you. Because a lot of people, especially my girl, when she first seen it, she was like, all right, this is kind of too big. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear this and feel comfortable wearing this. But trust me, once you wear it for a couple of days, it's gonna grow on you. And this band is so soft. If it had this band, it would have been a problem. It would have been a big stiff brick on your wrist. But the big screen with the soft band, that's a winning combination. All right, so I would highly recommend getting this watch. On the scale of 1 to 10, I'm saying this watch is a major go. It's a win. All right, now the price is just a little steep, but you know, got to work with that. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the Amazon Warriors on Sundays. You already know the deal. Get your drinks ready. Stream Gangsters on deck. Special notice too, Tuesday night, which is tomorrow night. We doing the Amazon Warrior tomorrow night. So, because I had to do something today, so I can't do it on Sunday night. But this Tuesday, we got a special edition Amazon Warrior. We are getting wasted. All right, that's all I got to say. Get your Hennessy ready. Get your Jack Daniels ready. Get your Jamaican rum, your vodka, whiskey, whatever you drink. Get it ready, because we're getting drunk on Tuesday night. Oh, yeah, one more thing. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. Or y'all haters, or y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces.